Reddit. What should teenagers know about being an adult? You don't have $5 until you have $10. If you have a period where you're suddenly rich, like right after getting your first loan, then save as much as possible. Keep a month's rent at hand if you can. Honestly, between all the confusing parts of being adult, what has saved my ass more times than anything else is just having a little bit of financial cushioning. Also buy things on sale. Thrift shops are your friend. Learning to sew is going to save your butt someday. Always buy a plunger before you need it. Never buy anything impulsively unless it's like $10 takeout when you've run out of energy to make food. Keep a list of things you want to buy. Take photos of in-store products. Add things around the web to an Amazon list. Make a list on a whiteboard on the fridge. When you look over the list, you'll weed out things you don't like as much as you thought you did the first time you saw them. When you plan to buy something, remember the quantity as well as style, type, functionality. You need professional clothes. How many shirts? How many pants? Don't just buy the first 5 things you like. Actually think through what you need. You don't have to stop enjoy things just because you're an adult. Don't stop playing games sometimes because people say it's childish. Splash in puddles when the mood takes you. Sit on a swing and just be alive for a little while. Watch cartoons. Play D&D with friends. Build a fort with your partner in your living room. Being an adult doesn't mean you have to give up things that make you feel joyful or playful, and you don't need to prove to anyone that you are an adult by way of letting go of the little things in life that make you smile. I think the most boring adults around me are those that only do adult things that adults are supposed to do because you're an adult now. Those who find the time to pursue interests, take up hobbies, regardless of how childlike, and do them are the most interesting and fun people to be around. In my eyes, an adult isn't someone who doesn't play video games or splash puddles. Nor is it the person who is always serious, has a serious job, and watches the news with dinner. What makes you an adult is the responsibilities you take on a day-to-day basis. If you have time to kick some kid's ass in Rocket League every now and then, more power to you. Financial. Don't use credit card unless you already have the money to pay it back. Don't take loans for fun stuff. Have a savings account. Pay your bills on time. Have some money at home always. Food. Eat nutritious foods. Hygiene. Set aside an hour or 2 every week to thoroughly clean somewhere in your apartment. Social. Buy yourself good friends and get rid of the bad ones. And by buying I mean spend money to do something with people you actually want to hang out with, not the people who force you to hang out with them. If you're responsible and don't already have bad tier credit, credit cards are just all around better than debit cards. There isn't anything too inherently wrong with debit, just that credit offers cash back and builds your credit score, among other perks. I have both types and honestly can't remember the last time I used my debit card for anything. I get 1.1% cash back on everything with my credit card as a base. It scales up from there. For instance, I get 3.3% on any online purchase. That's 3.3% off Amazon, digital game downloads, anything that requires PayPal, etc. I just make sure to live within my means and pay it off each month. My debit card can buy all that stuff too, of course, but without the cash back, it honestly costs me 3.3% more to use it. That what you post on social media has consequences. Be smart about it. Don't post things you wouldn't want an employer or your mom to see. Remember kids, nothing is truly private online. Get yourself a good support network of people you can actually trust and who will help you out in a time of genuine emergency. I ended up in R&D the other day and was so grateful to have someone I trust who called an ambulance for me as I was unresponsive. Also, if I'm not doing too great, I have some friends I can go and talk to. I can literally pull up in their driveway, tell them I'm there, and they will let me in and listen to me. No questions asked. I make sure I reciprocate that as well. Being an adult can be scary and lonely at times, and there will come a time when you really need someone. Make sure you have at least one person to turn to. Saving up is better than credit. If you have credit, don't go past 30% of your total limit and pay it off in full every month. Bankruptcy is easy, but stays with you for years. Keep cash on hand for emergencies. Water is your friend. Drink lots. Also, never lend money and never co-sign for anyone. Oh, and never use rent to buy stores. You'll end up paying at least twice what the item is worth. A good rule of thumb, use the credit card, but don't buy anything you don't already have the money in the bank to pay for. That way you use the card and build up that credit score. That credit score can make or break your future desire to buy a house. Protect that like it's one of your children. Cash is great, but you're not building a credit score with cash. My biggest piece of advice is, don't go to college if you don't know what you want. I didn't understand the gravity of the loans I was signing, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I ended up dropping out for financial reasons, but I have 20k plus in student loan debt for just a year and a half of school. I shoulder waited it out and looked for what I wanted. I'm not saying don't go to school, but don't think it's a requirement. Adults care a whole lot less about petty social issues. There'll still be judgment, but adults can set that aside to get through the workday usually. Bills suck, money's always tight, etc. This is the way to go if you do want to go to college, but don't know what you want to do. Go to community college for 2 years and take your gen eds so your credits will transfer when you decide on a degree to pursue. You'll knock out a chunk of your education while spending a fraction of what you would at a larger university. Another tip for those who do have a degree in mind, I wish that I had taken less credits per semester and let myself stay for an extra semester or two. It may cost more to stay that extra time, but you'll learn more and have more time to enjoy and explore extracurricular activities like clubs/meeting people/networking/having fun. I had my mindset on finishing in 4 years, which resulted in too much work to manage effectively each semester, and ultimately I had at least one class each semester that I put the bare minimum effort into so I could focus on other classes, which meant I didn't learn as much as I could have. Going your own way is hard work. Every day, use your energy now to build your own life, since you won't have that much time and passion later on. Drugs postpone your life, so don't numb yourself with them. The security the easy way offers is just an illusion. Muscles you build up now will stay forever. Your peers give a crap about what you do, no matter what Reddit says to the contrary. The way to get ahead is through loose connections. Hey, we got an opening at my firm. I'll put in a good word for you. If you're an introvert who keeps the nose to the grindstone and doesn't interact, your life will be immeasurably more difficult. Don't try to make work fun, at least not all the time. Even the best dream jobs have a lot of drudgery in them. Also, learn to take criticism. You will need to be able to hear things you don't want to be told in a manner that you find irksome from people you don't particularly like in order to improve. This is super important. As a teenager, it's often very easy to cut out people who say things you don't like. Just stop being friends with them, right? It doesn't swing at work. These people aren't going anywhere, and you'll need to find a way to work alongside them. Further to that, like them or not, some of them will have valuable knowledge you need. They may not be someone you like. They may not give you the information in a way you like. But that doesn't change the fact their knowledge and experience is valuable, and you should use that resource. Others may point out your errors. They may even point out your errors in ways you find patronizing and mean. No one really cares about your feelings, and your errors are likely causing them a headache further down the line. This job might not mean much to you, and you might think they are totally lame for caring so much about work, but this is important to them, and most of the time pointing out your mistakes is a genuine effort to help you and prevent formal escalation with management. Eventually you will be one of these people who cares about work, and the 17-year newbie thinks you're lame. Because if you go through life half-assing your job and not caring, you're going to spend your life in pretty low levels positions. It gets better. I hated high school. I felt stuck with bunch of people who I didn't want to spend time with, but I went to college, made bunch of friends who I still hang out with 10 years after graduation. Then I got a job in less than optimal industry and struggled for 7 years, but now I'm finally in the industry I've dreamed of, married, and excited about work and life. No matter how crappy something may seem, keep your head up and work hard. This is important. I hated high school too, and don't like thinking back about that period of my life. Being an adult comes with new responsibilities and difficulties, but I'm much happier now than I was as a teenager. I think it's important to point this out for those teenagers that might be struggling now. It doesn't help when adults say things like this is the best time of your life, enjoy it while you still can. For many people, that's simply not true. There are plenty of us who hated being a teenager and became a much happier person later on. Regardless of what people complain about, it is not that hard. All it takes is making good choices. Making good choices can be a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but it's not like it's actually difficult. Don't take out that $100K loan for a dumb degree. Your first house doesn't need to cost $250,000. You don't need a brand new car as a reward for whatever stupid adulting milestone you think you just passed. Started a big boy job. Maximum out that $401K. No, you don't need the money for anything else. Put it in your goddamn $401K. Your future doesn't stop when you're an adult. Keep making good choices. Hey y'all, Reddit Randy here. Thanks for checking out today's video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit notifications for more.